Hi guys, Soda Coyote here saying hello to all my fizzy friends. Today I'd like to tell you about how I became a furry and how my parents found out. Well, you see, I've always loved Halloween and I've loved costumes and trick-or-treating. I love the fantasy and how just really fun and entertaining it can be. Well, when I was little I always wanted to dress up as a dragon for Halloween, but I didn't want just any old costume. I wanted something like a mascot. I thought they were just so cool and you could really embody a dragon, and I always loved dragons and dinosaurs. So, unfortunately for me, all the costumes that I could find were always like for 4-year-old boys and stuff. You know, they would have either dragon costumes or T-Rexes or even those cowboy costumes where it would look like they were actually saddled up onto a horse, and I was so jealous. And I was really disappointed in that. Well, I ended up going to YouTube and I was looking up how to make dragon costumes and just trying to find a good dragon costume in general. And one day I just stumbled across Canine Hybrid's Charizard costume. Later on finding the Aerodactyl. And just, they blew my mind away. And of course, in the title they had fursuits. So I looked up what a fursuit was, and to my amazement, not only was there dragon fursuits, but you could be any animal or creature that you wanted. And these costumes were in any shape, any color. There were cartoony ones, there were realistic ones. I know for the longest time I really admired clockwork creatures, and there's just so many amazing creations. So I became really into the fandom at a young age. This was when I was 11. And I ended up making my first fursona. He was a plant wolf of sorts because I took fursona really literally. I think I was in like 6th grade. And so I was like, a fursona is an animal that you really like. And maybe some part of you. And I was like, well, I love nature, so let's make a plant wolf. Well, he had a vine for a tail. He had giant palm leaf wings, and he had like an extra set of arms made out of leaves on his chest, and he had like a moon marking right here that was red, and he was just really edgy. He had a mouth on his neck, and his main mouth was sewn shut, so it was a little ridiculous, but definitely not a Mary Sue, at least. I guess that's pretty neat for an 11-year-old, but making characters goes back even before that. I've found drawings and planners from elementary school. And I didn't know what a furry was, but I was like, hey, here's this wolf. What if I was this wolf? Cool, guys, right? And so I guess my first official fursona wasn't until I was 11, but it did go back quite a ways. And then I ended up creating my first real important fursona later on that year. I found some friends on DeviantArt actually, and they helped me figure out that a fursona is literally anything you want. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this is literally me. It can be, this is what I want to be, these are just colors I like, these are species I like. It doesn't even have to be a normal character. It can be a mix of anything you want. And so Traxon was born. He used to just be black and lime green with some bright blue eyes, and over time he's gotten white added to him, but he is still my main today actually. And he was based on Monster Energy because, you know, what kid doesn't have a Monster Energy dog character, am I right? But he's still with me today. He's very important to me. He's turning 8 years old or something like that this upcoming August, and I really love him still. He's hardly changed over time, but he's still me, and he'll always be with me, I know that much. And as well as fursuits, my mom found out that I was a furry pretty fast, because I was drawing anthro wolves at a pretty young age, even before I knew what furries were. And I guess my dad, actually, I've never met my biological dad, but he was a furry too. His fursona was a skunk, and I think that's pretty awesome. My mom never expected me to find something like this on my own, and yet here I am dressed up as a big green coyote. But I ended up making my first fursuit when I was 11, and it was really horrible. It was all really thin foam, and had like no structure. I tried to make resin eyes, which never give an 11-year-old resin. That was a horrible mess to clean up. And it was black and tan, and the material felt like actual carpet. It was not fur. But that's okay, because I was still really proud of it, and that's what got me started. And then a couple years went by. I think I was 14 or 15 when I made my first fursuit that was of my own character. I had a couple in-betweens once I actually made enough money to get some of my own materials. But my first, ooh yeah, look at this cool suit was actually Trax. I was super proud of him. He was horribly made though. He had the worst vision you could imagine. And I think I painted inside of his mouth black. And when you get sweaty and you have painted foam, not a good mix. But I loved him. I wore him to Shudocon in 2016, a convention here in Michigan, and I made a lot of friends. And it was just so many people wanted to give me hugs, and it really inspired me because people asked where I'd gotten it or who made it, and I tell them that I did myself. And they were really proud of me, so that kept me going. I really loved making it, and I love performing as him. I'm definitely going to try and remake him within the next few years. Unfortunately, I no longer have his head because I got really angry at the quality when I got better, and I was like, I don't need this, I need space, and my stupid self threw him away. So, yeah, rest in pieces, Trax. I still love you. One day you'll have a great suit, I promise. But that's all on how I became a furry and a little bit of my story. Of course, my mom always kind of knew I was, and so I had an easy time. It's not like the family abandoned me or anything. It was pretty easy. And as a bonus, today I'd like to share with you something I got in the mail. It is a wild berry fursuit spray from Plushy Dog Suits. Unfortunately, it took forever to ship. I bought it from Etsy, and apparently they're having issues with their shipping labels not being accepted properly, but I ended up getting it, I think 2 days ago. It smells really good. It hasn't left any residues or anything on my suit. It smells a lot like Skittles or something, but it's delicious. I can spray it enough to actually disinfect my suit, and it won't be overwhelmingly scented, but great spray. I guess once they get their shipping labels figured out, I would recommend them. For now, it was a little stressful because I thought it got stuck in Texas for a month. I guess it was only stuck there for 3 weeks, but either way, that's a long time for me to think that spray, I need it. But no, I have it. I'm very happy with it. I would definitely recommend checking them out because they have such a big variety, and it smells good, it works good. Hope to buy more from them in the future. And I guess that's all I've got for you today, except, woo! You know those free badges? Well, I'm promising the first 20 subscribers that they'll get one. And then after that, it'll be random. But I think they're coming out pretty good. I'll link some down below in the description. And if you would really like some free art of your character, well, you could always subscribe and comment. Who knows? Maybe you will definitely get a free badge. Anyways, Soda Coyote out. See you guys.